What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Big Fight Fuel channel with, of course, yours truly, Joseph Conlon. It is Wednesday, October 13th, 2021. I am recording this for you guys on Tuesday night. Tuesday night is about 10 minutes past 10 o'clock right now. And we got a lot to talk about with these Miami Dolphins as they are coming off a 45-17 loss to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, I am not going to talk about the whole game today because we got a lot more topics to talk about. I would like to talk about with Tua possibly coming back this week, the defense, Brian Flores, and really, for the first time this season, I would like to touch up on Deshaun Watson and those rumors. But, so we got a lot to talk about here today. I thank you all for joining me. And before we dive into all of this, because I really do have a lot to talk about, and I don't want to waste any much time, I just want to thank everybody who supported the channel this weekend. We gained a couple new subscribers. We are back over 420 subscribers. I'm hoping that's permanent. I'm hoping that's permanent. We're not below 420 subscribers anymore, and we can keep processing because we are now at 421 subscribers here on the Big Fight Field channel, and I'm guessing those are Dolphins fans. So, thank you all for those who subscribed this weekend. And really, I want to thank everybody who checked out the vlog. I just checked before I started recording here. We're at 171 views on the vlog, and for that, I'm very grateful for that. I really am. It was a great experience, no matter what the outcome was. It was not the result I wanted whatsoever, but it was an awesome experience. Being up close to the players before the game, like Jacoby and Jacoby Brissette, and Jalen Watt and Xavier Howard and all the players, just not the main players, just all the players, just being up close to them, the pregame, interacting with Dolphins fans pregame and during the game. It was amazing, and it's something that I would absolutely love to do again. Is it going to happen this year? Probably, more than likely, it's not going to happen again this year. But sometime down the road, who knows? Well, maybe there's a favorable game next year that hey, you know what? That might be a good one to go to. So, it was super fun. Dolphins fans are so cool, man. They really are. Best fan base in the NFL. I don't care what anybody says. And I want to thank everybody who supported this channel and supported that vlog this weekend at that game. So the audience that I get from my Dolphins videos are very consistently good. And last year I was debating about it like mid-season. I'm a huge football fan. Like, I did football videos, but I didn't consistently do Dolphin videos until, like, mid-season. And I'm so glad I made that decision to start talking about the Miami Dolphins because it's now gained me a fan base other than a pro wrestling fan base that listens to me talk about, most of the time AEW. Now I have that second fan base that listens to me talk about the Miami Dolphins and the Dallas Cowboys here and there. I don't talk about the Cowboys consistently as I do the Dolphins. I love both teams. Those are my two favorite teams. But forever and always, the Miami Dolphins will be number 1. So, again, thank you all for the support this weekend. It truly means the world to me. Let me take a sip of water real quick, and then we got to talk about this game. So, yes. The first thing I do want to talk about in this video is this game against the Buccaneers. And it was not pretty. Obviously, 45-17 is a complete blowout. And it's not something that any of us wanted to see happen on Sunday. I made a video last week saying that the Dolphins were going to beat the Bucs and shock the world. Clearly, I was wrong, and I'll admit that. And sometimes it's okay to be wrong. And I'll clearly admit that I was wrong about last week's game against the Buccaneers by a big shot. But everybody, I feel like most Dolphins fans were going into this game knowing that we were not going to win, but we wanted a competitive game. At least a 10-point game. Like, if we came out of that game and say we lost, I don't know, 31-24 or 38-31, I would have been like, you know what? We had our chances. Our defense played garbage. But you know what? We kept it close the entire game. I'm proud of the team for that. But that did not happen. We had it close at a bunch of occasions. We were winning at the end of the first quarter. Yeah, a lot of people forget about that. We were winning at the end of the first quarter. Jacoby, Brissette, and the Dolphins got the ball the first drive, and they should have scored a touchdown, but they ended up settling for a 21-yard field goal, and they only got 3 out of that. And then the Buccaneers drive down, score a touchdown, and then we put a beautiful drive together. Jacoby Brissette throws to a wide-open Myles Gaskin, and we take the 10-7 lead going into the second quarter. And the second quarter wasn't great at all. The second quarter was actually ugly. It was not worse than the fourth quarter, I will say that. The second quarter was pretty ugly, though. The defense could not stop this offense to save their lives. The offense did not have a response, and we had a chance at the end. We were down 24-10. We got the ball right before halftime. We're on. What are we on? We're on their 40-yard line, and Jacoby Brissette fumbled. Now, I will say this. I do want to say this. I don't think Jacoby Brissette played a bad game. I really don't. He did not have a good game against the Raiders. He did not have a good game against the Colts, especially the Colts. It was horrendous, his performance against the Colts. But Jacoby Brissette did not have a bad performance against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I will tell you that right now. He was avoiding sacks, trying to get the ball off. He took a couple shots in the first quarter. I didn't really see him take shots in the second quarter. I might have saw him take one shot in the third quarter to Mike Gesicki. And then I saw nothing in the fourth quarter. But he injured his hamstring. I think he hurt his hamstring on the play. It was 4th down and 4. 3rd down and 4. And he threw it to Preston Williams, and it was incomplete. We had to punt. I think he hurt his hamstring on that play. I did not realize, but then I went back and I watched the highlights, and Jacoby Brissette did not play 100% yesterday. So Jacoby Brissette, at the end of that game, that man was in pain. Jacoby Brissette did not play. He was not 100% healthy in that game against the Buccaneers. But I will say this. That man has heart. That man showed a lot of heart in that game, and he did not quit. And I don't like players that just sit there and they quit. No matter what situation you're in the NFL or in any sport, you never quit. You never throw in the towel, and you never be like, you know what, F this, I'm not doing it anymore. You don't do that. That's not being a good professional. That's not being a good teammate at all. And Jacoby Brissette had heart, and I acknowledge him for that. I acknowledge him for that. And something I won't acknowledge was the performance from Xavier Howard on Sunday. Mike Evans, 2 touchdowns. Antonio Brown, 2 touchdowns. Did y'all see X on that play? Antonio Brown scored a 62-yard touchdown. Antonio Brown is in the slot. He's in the slot, I think. And he's covered by X. First off, I did not like that they had X on Antonio Brown for some part of the game. I just did not like that matchup going into it. He's about, I would say, 7 yards off of Antonio Brown. And he doesn't go up to pressure him, jab. He doesn't do any of that. He's 7 yards back. He backpedals. Antonio Brown doesn't cross en route. And it's to the point that Antonio Brown's about 3 yards in front of Xavier Howard. And he catches the ball. And Xavier Howard thinks that, he can outchase Antonio Brown, which he did not do, obviously. And Antonio Brown scored a touchdown. Then you had the 2 touchdowns to Mike Evans. And the last one to go up 45-17. Guess who was covering Mike Evans? That's right, it was Xavier Howard. And then I saw a video. Xavier Howard had a pouting face on the sideline once he gave up that touchdown. So, and Byron Jones, he it's not like he had a good game. It's not like I'm putting all the blame on Xavier Howard. I'm just saying he's one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL. And the one thing that everybody says is so dangerous about the Miami Dolphins is their secondary. You got Xavier Howard on one side and you got Byron Jones on the other side. I said it last week and I'll say it again. This was supposed to be a game where you go okay, you got this great corner duo of Xavier Howard and Byron Jones. And they got a tall task ahead of them with Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and Antonio Brown. You gave them all this money. You gave them the big contracts. This is what you give them the money for games like this, to try to stop these wide receivers. And what happened on Sunday? Well, Antonio Brown had 7 catches, 124 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Mike Evans had 6 catches, 113 yards, and 2 touchdowns. That's some secondary you got there, Josh Hoyer. Terrible. Terrible. I don't even want to talk about the fourth quarter. The fourth quarter, I don't even know what happened. We just disappeared. It's kind of like, it kind of felt like, we're close. After that touchdown with Fournette, it kind of felt like, we can have a close game, but we feel like we're not going to win. And they just flat out gave up because they had the feeling, we just gave up that touchdown to Fournette to start the fourth quarter. I don't think we got a good shot. And, they lied down in the fourth quarter. That's what happened. Really. You go back and watch highlights on the NFL YouTube channel. You can look up the Dolphins-Bucks. What happened? They gave up in the fourth quarter. That's what happened. And we lost 45-17. Tom Brady absolutely torched us the entire game. He's sitting there 4 to 5 seconds, flat-footed, waiting for his receivers to get open. And he's like, here you go. Mike Evans, you get a pass. And Chris Godwin, you get the ball. Leonard Fournette, Jerome Baker's covering you. Here you go. Antonio Brown, Xavier Howard's 5 yards away from you, and he's not going to catch up to you. Boom. There you go. That's a touchdown. Giovanni Bernard doing a cut into the end zone. There you go. Tom Brady had no pressure the entire game. I think he only got sacked twice. I can only remember 2 sacks the entire game. The one on third down that Brady was sacked and Tampa Bay had to kick a field goal. And then a sack by Jalen Phillips in the third quarter, which, to be perfectly honest with you, I am impressed with Jalen Phillips. Looking back at that 18th pick, I think that was a great get. I think he's doing a very good job. I don't like that we're taking him out of games, though. I want to see more of Jalen Phillips. I want to see him get after the quarterback more during these games. Like, I understand if you want to take him out for Andrew Van Ginkel. I'm okay with that. But taking him out for Brennan Scarlett, no. He's much better than Brennan Scarlett, in my opinion. But that basically is what happened with this game against the Buccaneers. But I got to talk about this defense. Like, it's crazy how how do I put this to words? How do I even put this to words? It's crazy how hold on a second, let me check something real quick. I'll be back. Just give me a minute, folks. Sorry about that, folks. My brother's alarm is going off on his phone, and he's asleep right now. So I went to go turn that off because It was bothering me. And if I talked with that in the background for the rest of the video, I would have not been as focused as I was in the beginning of the video. So I'm sorry I took 30 seconds away from the camera because that was bothering me and I wanted to go turn it off. So we were talking about the defense. It's quite amazing how this Miami Dolphin defense in 2020 was one of the best defenses in the NFL. We could rely on the Miami Dolphins defense when the offense was down. You could rely on the Miami Dolphins defense for forced fumbles, a bunch of sacks, interceptions, to set up the offense for success. Last year, you could rely on the Miami Dolphins defense. But in 2021, I don't know what happened. We're playing like one of the worst defenses in the NFL. The secondary is not the same as last year. It's not. The linebackers, Jerome Baker sucks. I'm sorry. I liked him last year. I loved Jerome Baker last year. But why did we get rid of Kyle Van Noy in the offseason? Just why? That move, the way our defense is playing, getting rid of Kyle Van Noy was a bad move. Because he's a veteran linebacker that you want on the field with your young linebacking core. I loved Kyle Van Noy last year. Did he do a lot? Nah, not really. But you know what? He's a great veteran to have on the field. He's a great leader. And he can lead guys like Jerome Baker. I mean, I don't know what Jerome Baker is doing. I don't know what the defensive coordinator, Josh Royer or Flo, has changed with him. But last year he was pressuring the quarterback a lot. This year he's dropping back in coverage, covering the running back. Leonard Fournette, he was covering Leonard Fournette most of the day. And you wonder why he had a good game against him, because Jerome Baker just couldn't cover him. And anytime Tom Brady was like, he saw Jerome Baker on the right side, he get Fournette on the right side. And when Fournette went out for a screen, Tom Brady would get him the ball, and Leonard Fournette would get 20 yards off that play. I don't know what it is, but they've got to have Jerome Baker back to pressuring the quarterback. And then defensive line, they're just not putting enough pressure on as they did last year. The Dolphins' defense in 2021 is not aggressive. I don't know what Brian Flores changed. I don't know what the defensive coordinator changed. But starting this week against the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Dolphins need to go back to what they were doing last year on defense. Because what they were doing last year clearly was working the entire season. What they're doing right now is garbage and does not give them a chance to win games. They need to go back to doing what they were doing last year with that defense, because right now it's unacceptable. The defense is unacceptable after what we saw last year. How could you sit there, watch this game, watch the season and be okay with how the defense is performing. Unacceptable. Now, there's a lot of talk. Two more things, and then we're going to get out of here. There's a lot of talk in the Dolphins media this week about the return of Tua. Tua was put on the IR for 3 weeks, and I think it was Adam Schefter who tweeted that Tua is likely for a return against the Jacksonville Jaguars in London. And here we are. Tua is activated. He's practicing. That's a good sign. And with a 1-4 record right now, 12 games left on this season. As much as I would love to see some way the Miami Dolphins end up in the playoffs, in a realistic standpoint, it's not happening. I'm sorry. It's just not happening. There's way more teams in that division that are better than the Miami Dolphins. You got, obviously, the Buffalo Bills, the entire AFC North, besides the Steelers possibly, the Titans, and the entire AFC West. The entire AFC West is better than the Miami Dolphins, in my opinion, including the Denver Broncos. And as much as the Chiefs are 2-3, throw their record out, they are still the Chiefs. Okay? So, whether you like it or not, they are going to be in the postseason. They will find a way. If they're not the division winners, they will get in as a wild card team. Trust me. So with that being said, say the Dolphins did make a miracle and ended up with 11 wins or ended up with 10 wins. If it came down to a tiebreaker, I think those teams would get in the playoffs over the Dolphins because of what happened this year. Like the games against the Raiders and the Colts, it really, really hurt our chances. We could be sitting here today. Going into this game against Jacksonville this weekend at 3-2. Instead, because of those 2 games, we're 1-4. And we're at the bottom of the barrel when it comes to the AFC. And that's the truth. And people want to talk about how, these games should be easy for the Miami Dolphins the next few weeks. Jacksonville, Atlanta, Houston, the Jets, we should blow them all out. And respectfully, I hope that happens, but I can't agree with that. You know why I can't agree with that, folks? Because those teams that I just named, they look on the schedule and they see Miami coming up on the schedule at 1-4, and they circled that game. Do you know why they circled that game on their schedule? Because they look at that game as a chance for themselves to get the win. A team like the Jacksonville Jaguars looks at this game and thinks they could probably win. A team like the Houston Texans looks at this game, 1-4 Miami Dolphins, you know what? We might have a chance. So, I can't agree with y'all I mean, I disagree with y'all saying that, oh, the Dolphins they should blow out these teams. I'm sorry, but I don't think that's happening. I don't think that's happening. And I don't think the playoffs are realistic anymore. So, what is this season all about? Entering week 6 of the NFL season. Folks, it's very simple. This season, right now, at this point of the year, is all about Tua Tagovailoa. This season is all about Tua. Because we have not seen Tua on a field in 3 weeks since he took that hit against the Buffalo Bills. And a lot of people have doubts in Tua. And now, for me personally, I thought he played okay last year. I didn't think he played terrible like everybody else did. I thought Tua played all right. Unfortunately, it just wasn't good enough to get us in the playoffs last year. But, listen, man, you look at that record, and Tua's a winner. And if Tua plays well, say Tua plays well, and we don't make the playoffs, and we go, let's say, 8-4 or 9-3 these last 12 games, and we don't make the season, I'm like, all right, you know what? We didn't make the playoffs, but we were 1-4 when Tua came back, and Tua played well. He played better than he did last year, and he won us games when he had a huge part in them. You know what? We're going to ride with him, at least for one more year, at least for another season. But if he comes in there and he has a Buffalo Bills game last year, or he has a Denver Broncos game last year, he's not going to be sitting pretty with the Miami Dolphins fan base. They're going to be tired of him. And they're going to want Jacoby Brissette to play for the rest of the season because they're going to think clearly Tua is not our guy. Tua is not our guy in the future. Or B, all we're going to be talking about in the off-season for the Miami Dolphins fans is one guy only, and his name is Deshaun Watson. That's all the Dolphins, that's all the Fins Nation will be talking about in the off-season if Tua does not come in and play well and progress. All the Dolphins Nation will be talking about, can we get Deshaun Watson? Tua needs to go out. Now, I think Tua is going to play well. I do. I really think Tua is going to come in there. He's going to beat the teams that he should, like Jacksonville, like the Falcons, the Texans, the Jets, the Giants, heck, even the Saints. Because you don't know what you're going to get the Saints. You don't know what you're going to get from the Saints on a weekly basis. You might get Jameis Winston balling out, throwing 5 touchdowns, defense having a phenomenal game, or you might get defense giving up 4 touchdowns, Jameis Winston, You know, he might throw for 2 touchdowns, but he's going to throw 3 or 4 interceptions in that game. You don't know. You really don't know what you're going to get from the Saints on a weekly basis. It's unpredictable. It is really unpredictable. So I'm putting that in the category of that's a possibility if we can win this game. But I feel like the tough games for Tua are going to be the Buffalo Bills, the Baltimore Ravens, the Carolina Panthers. Yes, I said the Panthers because the Panthers are a really tough team, and they have a top 5 defense in the NFL, in my opinion. And the Tennessee Titans. I feel like those 4 games are going to be games that Tua is going to struggle in. And if he does not get the job done, if he does not play well, people are going to no longer support Tua. They're going to raise their torches, and they're going to want Tua out of Miami, and they're going to want Deshaun Watson in. I'm not discussing whether or not I think Deshaun Watson is going to come to the Dolphins. I'm not going to discuss if I want Deshaun Watson to come to the Dolphins, because we're not at that point yet. Right now, more than likely he's going to play on Sunday. Right now, it's all about Tua. It's all about how Tua does these next few games. It's all about how Tua does the rest of the season. It's all about progressing and getting better each game for Tua Tagovailoa. And you guys should have faith in him. I'm not saying he's going to lead us to the playoffs. I'm not saying he's going to go on a magical run for the Miami Dolphins and go 11-6 and make the playoffs. I'm not saying that because I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think at this point of the season, I don't think that's realistic. When I say you guys should have faith in him, you guys should have faith in him that he's going to play well, win the games that he should win, and progress from how he was last year to what he should be this year. That's what I'm talking about. So I'm going to wrap this one up, guys. Probably the longest Miami Dolphins video I did this year. There was a lot to talk about going into this one, and I'm glad I did this video for you guys. It's just been a crazy season so far. Unfortunately, we're sitting at a 1-4 record, but luckily we're heading into games against the Jacksonville Jags and the Atlanta Falcons, and I'm hoping that the Dolphins are going to pull away with those 2 victories and be 3-4 by the time we play Buffalo in their house. So I want to thank you all for watching this video. If you have not already, be sure to subscribe to the Big Fight Field channel. We got some great content up this week. It's going to be a busy week here on the channel. We got this, and I might as well go ahead and announce this now. I have never done a preview on the channel for AEW Dynamite. I do reviews and I do previews for pay-per-view, but I've never done a preview for an AEW Rampage or Dynamite, and that's going to change because you guys will see tomorrow on the channel we're going to do a preview of AEW Rampage and AEW Dynamite this coming up week, because it's a big weekend for AEW, and we're going to talk about all the stuff that got announced. And I'm going to do that with Nathan Hansen. That's going to be Thursday on the channel. Nathan Hansen is back before we are going to Miami for AEW Dynamite. It is going to be a huge week, AEW. I am very excited Friday, we are going to do the preview for Dolphins Jags, and then the Rampage review. And then I will be at that Miami AEW Dynamite show this weekend. I'm very excited. However, I don't know if the vlog is going to be up Saturday night or Sunday. I do not know. But if I can't get it up Saturday and I have to get it up on Sunday instead, more than likely I won't do a reaction video to the Dolphins Jags, and I'll just do something like this again, probably the day after the game. So look forward to all that content. You're going to want to be subscribed, like I said. Comment down below. I got to know your thoughts. Your thoughts on this past game against the Tampa Bay Bucks. Your thoughts on defense and Tua. That's the most important one. Leave your thoughts. How is Tua gonna do from now until the end of the season for the Miami Dolphins? Hit that like button if you like what you heard from me in this video, and follow me on Twitter and Instagram at comment_Joseph. And guys, I will see you in the next video as myself and Nathan Hansen are going to preview AEW Rampage and AEW Dynamite this coming up weekend. So y'all have a good night, stay safe, and as always, man, stay classy and fins up. Fins for life, man.